In case you weren't already aware, Northwood confirmed an experimental weapons rework for SCP Secret Lab. With the news of this rework, Northwood has confirmed that they are planning more experimental weapons in future updates. To recap, the current experimental weapons in-game are the Micro HID, the 3X Particle Disruptor, and the Jailbird. Not only are these three weapons extremely powerful and fun to use in-game, but the upcoming rework for the Micro and Particle Disruptor have me very excited for the next content update. However, what has me even more excited is what this rework is setting up for the future. As stated by Northwood, this upcoming rework will add spawnable locations for both the Particle Disruptor and the Jailbird. Currently, the only way to get them in-game is either by begging admins and servers to spawn them in for you, or the boring and alternative is just trying to craft one in 914. With the way they've set up this new system, there can only be a maximum of 3 unique experimental weapons that can spawn naturally per round, excluding the Micro, which will always spawn no matter what in its Micro room. Northwood has set up the groundworks to add even more experimental weapons in the future, which I am personally looking forward to. The announcement of this experimental weapons rework had me thinking, what else could Northwood add in-game realistically for Secret Lab? I think experimental weapons have been some of the best additions we've had in Secret Lab. The Particle Disruptor and Jailbird have been so much fun to use in-game, even back when they were added, and to this day now, are still being used and abused like hell, but my god, is it some great content. I think Northwood pretty much confirming that there will probably be more in the future is just great. Honestly, I'm just really excited for what they could add, which of course leads me to this video of what I think could be 3 possible experimental weapons we could see in the future. Of course, I am not God, I cannot see the future, but just keeping in mind that each experimental weapon is pretty unique from one another. They all have their own purposes and own gameplay style. I took that into account, and as well as just general Secret Lab gameplay and atmosphere, to maybe create 3 ideas that are both unique, but also fun for use and fun for the admins to abuse. So without further ado, these are my 3 concepts for future experimental weapons in-game for Secret Lab. To start off with my first concept, it's a pretty simple one. I don't really know what to call it other than really just a shock grenade. Oh, I know, it's a shock grenade, it's like, what? How is that an experimental weapon? It's just another grenade type, right? But hold on, hear me out. As the name implies, the shock grenade is a grenade you throw, and when it explodes, it shocks players. Wow, who could have seen that coming? But I thought of another idea that the shock grenade could have against players. What if, when you're hit by the shock grenade, it hinders your movement in some way? At first I thought, what if maybe when you get hit by the shock grenade you get ragdolled like Gmod style, and then like you have to wait a few seconds to get back up, but then I realized that probably would be really buggy for the current state of Secret Lab, but then also how the hell would that work against SCPs like 173? So I mean, yeah, that idea kind of that kind of went out the door immediately. But I thought of an even greater idea, I think. What if when you get hit by the shock grenade, it hinders your movement temporarily? Specifically, what if your controls get inverted? So imagine this, not only do you just get the immediate hit and get, slightly damaged, I don't know how they would balance it, but I don't think it'd be like grenade levels of damage, probably like somewhere low in the low damage range. But imagine this, just you get hit by the shock grenade, you get the initial shock value of the shock. But then as you're trying to regain control, seeing what the hell happened, who threw that, where it came from, seeing how many people there are, maybe with the enemy team, you forget that now your controls are inverted. So now when you're trying to walk forward, you're walking back, and when you're trying to look left, you look right. And then as you're trying to figure out why nothing is working the way you were, like your movement is just completely screwed over, you completely forget, and you just start going crazy, and just before you know it, you're dead. You get massacred by chaos, and all because you forgot that you had to turn right to turn left, you had to go back to go forward. I think this would be a pretty fun addition to the gameplay. Just completely mess up the enemy, just completely screw them over. Maybe even, I don't know how you could pull this off, but let's say they're at the heavy containment armor, you throw the shock grenade and they accidentally fall off into the cliff, into the abyss below. I don't know, that's something that would be awesome, man. Just completely screw over the enemy, completely give them a, just completely troll them. Now obviously I think the first thing people think of when they hear maybe my shock grenade concept would be well, why would we need an experimental weapon that's a grenade if we have the ball? Which, you know, sure, I'll give you credit for that. SCP-008 is basically like a grenade type. But here's the thing, it's an SCP item, first of all, which is, you know, a lame excuse, but I mean, it is what it is. But second of all, SCP-008 is very unpredictable and unreliable. Really, don't use, in-game, I don't use it that much. I think the only time I've ever used it is pretty much either to A, mess around, just throw it, because, you know, why not? Or B, it's like a last-ditch Hail Mary. It's like, bro, I'm already dead. I'm being chased by like 5 SCPs. I'm like, I have no stamina left. Just pull out the ball, throw it in the hallway, see, maybe, just maybe, it'll do something, and I'll be able to get away, right? But I think the ball is just not very reliable, whereas, you know, my shot grenade, or just in general, some experimental weapon, grenade type of weapon, would be more, you know, usable, like actually predictable to use and, you know, reliable, and not something you throw and then immediately it's like, oh, the ball went out of bounds into this hole in the abyss, and now it just does nothing. Awesome, you know. That's just me. That's my first idea, my first concept. My second concept is something I think is cool, but at the same time, I don't know how would this be implemented in game, just because, you know, I think once I mention this, I think more hardcore SCP fans are gonna be like, what are you talking about, buddy? Like, what are you saying here? But what if for an experimental weapon, what if for an experimental weapon you can place down Scranton reality anchors? Now, I know what I just said probably makes no sense to like a lot of people, but let me pretty much clear it up. Scranton reality anchors, or SRAs, which I'll be referring to them as just because it's shorter, are machines used by the SCP Foundation in lore and stories and whatnot. And basically what they are is that they're just machines that are meant to impede or nullify reality bending effects and phenomena. So basically just imagine, like, you know, in simple terms, big scary monster pisses some scary weird juice, and the science team comes in, they put down the thingy-bob, and then boom, piss juice is no more, whatever, it's gone, and you know, yay, we fixed it, we fixed reality. I don't know, that's basically what it is. It's just fucking weird, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. But anyways, I know what a lot of people probably are thinking. How would SRAs be used in game for Secret Lab? Well, my idea is, what if you place them on the floor and they start affecting the map? Literally, like, the map just starts changing around it. Maybe at first it starts off in like the hallway that it was placed in, the corridor it was placed in, right? The map becomes, you know, more trippy. You go in that hallway and all of a sudden, like, I don't know, it looks like fucking the GTA 5 bong effect where you can't see anything that well. Or, you know, maybe, you know, the walls start to change colors and stuff like that. And maybe like the floor is missing and stuff like that, so it just looks like you're hovering over the void. I don't know, just things like that. And then as time goes on, maybe the effect, as the SRA stays on, the longer it stays on, the more it starts to affect the map. So then slowly but surely more parts of the map are, you know, affected by this trippy map behavioral thing, right? I think that'd be pretty cool. It would like affect potentially large portions of the map in a way where players would have to kind of like readjust themselves when they're going through it and being affected by it. I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, I think the only problem is that maybe it's like, why would you use this, you know, like in game? Like, the whole concept is that they're supposed to stop reality bending phenomenons from happening, not starting them. But I mean, then again, I don't know, man, it's just a game. Why you thinking too much deep into it, man? It's just a game. Come on now, let us have some fun here. But yeah, that's pretty much my idea for the second concept. I think it's a pretty good idea, you know, just fucking, you know, make everyone think they're smoking fucking weed or something. I don't know, like, it's pretty cool, man. For my final concept, I think this is something that's probably pretty far-fetched, but you know, it's my video, I can do whatever I want and you guys can't stop me, so haha. Basically, what if you could wear some kind of like mech robot type suit, you know, right? Yeah, that's I think this is a very far-fetched one. Basically though, my idea is, you know, what if one of these experimental weapons you could get in the future is basically some suit, some equipable you can put on, right? Let's say you put on this cool futuristic mech type suit, and then boom, you now have the ability to shoot, like, I don't know, heavy caliber lasers or just like bullets out of your arms and stuff like that. Something like an Iron Man suit, right? something like an Iron Man suit, or I guess if we're keeping in terms of SCP, something like the SCP-5000 suit, right? Something like that. Something that could like make you invisible, make you hover slightly. I don't know, give you more speed. You know, I think I'm losing people on this one. Honestly, I just think it'd be a cool idea if you had some sort of suit you could put on that was an experimental weapon, and then I guess like the downside would be like it kills you over time, or when you take it off you're like completely, I don't know, disabled or something. I don't know, man. I just think it'd be cool if you could have like this equipable suit that would just make you a goddamn tank. Now obviously I think this probably wouldn't work for two reasons. The obvious one is like we have the micro, which is supposed to be like the final hoorah, the final like this all-in-one tank item that you can use no matter what, that's reliable for pretty much any situation. And then having this like mech suit would be like, I don't know, hindering. Like it would just be like, you know, why do we have the micro now if we have this? I don't know. Second, obviously, would be like, how would this actually be effective in game and balance when it comes to things like balancing, but also overall, just like how would this work around and like on the map? You know, it's a bit complicated, but maybe it doesn't have to be a suit. Maybe it could just be something you put on, right? Maybe it's like I don't know, like some sort of like equipable in general, where it's like you put it on and it gives you like some ability for a temporary amount of time, or as long as you have it on, but when you take it off, it like completely screws you over. Kind of like the new SCP item that just recently got revealed, the goggles, where if you take them off after, you know, using them, you know, you're temporarily blinded. I don't know, maybe something like that, where this equipable gives you like a huge stat boost. It makes you like more of a tanky person, or just like gives you more firepower, but once you take it off, handicaps you in some way. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to have some sort of equipable, preferably a suit in my case, but you know, if it has to be something smaller, like I don't know, like this wristband you put on and it gives you like infinite ammo, I don't know, man, but something like that. I just thought it'd be cool, but you know, I think out of all of them, or out of all of my ideas, this was probably the weakest. But yeah, that's pretty much about it, you know, just, you know, kind of a whatever video, just me talking out of my ass, just making up shit, you know, fan fiction, you know how it is, the usual. But you know, I thought it'd be fun because honestly, I'm just super excited for the experimental weapons rework, and then the addition of future experimental weapons. Like I said, I think experimental weapons are the best, specifically the jailbird. I think the jailbird's so much fun, you know, as you can see by the footage I've been using is mainly jailbird content, so you know, I think that pretty much speaks for itself. But you know, I'm just excited really for the future of Secret Lab. I'm really excited for what they're gonna add in the future. You know, I just thought, you know, why not just make a few videos talking about it. So yeah, this is one of my videos just talking about Secret Lab and what I would like to see in the future. But that's pretty much about it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I can get more videos like this out soon. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to y'all later. See ya.